Good morning, Stephanie.
Hi, Stell.
So we're finally here, 7 goes later, and on a totally different platform, here we are.
Well, thank goodness you are resilient. Lovely. You're very, I love, as I was just saying to you before, like, I love that in that uncertainty, you didn't give up. You didn't put your hands in the air and go, this is all too much. I'm going to find a way. And you just kept calm and you kept thinking, well, I'll try this platform. I'll try
Yes.
this. And that's what we need to be doing now. We need to be recognizing that our old ways may not work for our current environment. And we need to start to reach out for new and different platforms for us to negotiate our way through. So I think what happened this morning was a perfect example of that and a perfect opening to what we're going to be talking about.
So I think it's really important that we started this at 10 a.m. and now we're actually live on air at 10:48 a.m. So it was 48 minutes of resilience from both our parts going, okay, what's happening here? This isn't working. I think I've done about 5 lives on Facebook. So I'm so sorry, everyone. You've got a minute here and a minute there of going, hello, is anybody out there? So all those people that did tune in and leave, you can actually tune in again, because what I want to start off by saying, Steph, is I want to thank all the amazing early childhood educators, teachers, before and after school care, family daycare, long daycare, preschool, nominated supervisors, educational leaders and approved providers for going into work today, during this time of uncertainty. Because lots of things I've been reading on various, threads is the feeling of not knowing what's going to happen. So just a big shout out to everybody. And that's why I messaged you this morning at 6 a.m. Because I really wanted to try and get you in to talk about the importance of well-being during this time and how we can navigate and be mindful as we continue, through this path that is all new to us, and it is going to be changing. So we've got to be really creative in this time and also not lose hope. So instead of, I want to be known as remembering this time, instead of highway to hell, I want to be known as highway to hope. So Steph, can you tell us, why it is important for us to really stay focused and be mindful of the language we're using, especially towards each other, first of all, and the team, the families and the children?
Yeah, look, absolutely, because language is so powerful in triggering our emotional state. And I think there is a lot of language that is being thrown around at the moment that is really not helpful, and it's triggering us. It's triggering our stress response. It's triggering our survival response. So I think what might be really helpful is just before we get into languages that we can be using, words that we can be using and techniques that we can be using, I think it's really important for us to understand what's happening in our brains, because we're going to be, for some of us, we're going to be acting and behaving in ways that are not normal for us. And we can see it happening, but we're not sure why it's happening. So I'll just explain a little bit about the brain first. I'll keep this really short because I'm a nerd and I could go on about this forever. But basically what's happening is when we experience any sort of stress in our environment, whether that be emotional stress, physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress, any of these stresses can really they do trigger a little area in our brain called our amygdala. And our amygdala is our stress epicenter. Now, the job of the amygdala is to keep us alive. So whenever we get this, trigger of stress, the amygdala will start to fire off all of these stress hormones, so cortisol, adrenaline, and it shuts off certain areas of our body to keep us in this survival mode. And one of those areas of our body that it reduces blood flow to is our prefrontal cortex, the front part of our brain, which allows us to interact with people rationally, to empathize with people, to think rationally. So this amygdala shuts off our capacity to do that. So that's why we end up having these situations where we're acting without thinking. You hear them saying, I lost my mind. Well, literally we do. When our amygdala is triggered, we're not able to access that rational thinking part of our mind and that ability to empathize with others. So why I'm explaining this is is so that you know what's actually happening to your brain when we are being triggered by these things. But the good news is if we are aware of it and we notice when this is happening, that's our cue to rewire our brain and rewire our response. And that's our opportunity to start to respond a whole lot, in a whole lot more, positive way for ourselves and for everybody around us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Steph, I think that I need to tell you that you have been so imperative for my well-being over the last 2 years in understanding how to recognize my emotions and actually try my best not to react in a negative way. And that is from being really mindful about what I'm feeling and also who I'm surrounding myself with. And at these times here, I know that a lot of educators are going into work at the moment, and there can be like a lot of negative energy. So it's about raising that vibration and the energy around us, right?
Absolutely. And this is what we need to understand, that we can only control ourselves, our thoughts, our emotions, our energy, but that is so powerful to those people that are around us. As you say, Stel, if we can be that sense of calmness, if we can project this calmness, this positivity, this optimism in a time when it's more difficult to find, we can be the beacon of light for those people and watch that ripple out. Just as we're experiencing the negative energy rippling through, we could also ripple out the positive energy. And exactly what you said, Stel, there is a whole heap of people around us that can really shift us off kilter, but use those not as, don't see them as being negative. It's an opportunity for us to go, you know what? That's making my body feel a certain way, or that's making my brain feel a certain way. So I'm going to use this situation and practice what I'm learning in terms of mindfulness. A really good example of this, Stel, actually happened to me yesterday. So I practice mindfulness and meditation every single day without fail. It's part of my well-being. And I thought I was all okay. Yesterday, I was traveling on really well. My sister comes over and brings me a loaf of gluten-free bread, because I usually make my own bread. But she said, Steph, I bought you some gluten-free bread because it's going out of the stores. There's none in the stores. She goes, by the way, did you hear about the schools potentially closing down for 6 months? So Angie, I love her to bits, sent me into this spiral. And I was like, I started to panic because I'd bought into that energy. But then within about 5 minutes, I sort of caught myself and went, hang on, this isn't helping anybody. Yeah. My kids are starting to feel the stress because I'm starting to feel stress. Right. So I politely asked my sister to leave, took myself down the beach, practiced my mindfulness, and got my rational thinking back. But, it happens to all of us, but it's whether we can use that trigger to practice different ways of doing things and get us into that mindful state, and by doing so influencing everybody around us.
And that's what I did yesterday, Steph. When I woke up, when I finally showered and got myself ready, I sat down and I did just a little clip. And what I did was I actually done a mindfulness checklist for educators, so I can email that out to them. It's just a gentle reminder of what they can do when they wake up, during the day, and when they go to bed. And one of the things is to start off with 5 big deep breaths, which you taught me, because it's important for our parasympathetic nervous system, which you taught me. And so I practice it every day. But what I want to do is to bring a lot of positive energy during this time as well, because not only am I a business owner, and like everybody else, I don't know what's going to happen from day to day, but what I can do is bring my positive energy and have a ripple effect to the people who choose to watch and choose to listen to me. So this little mindful thing, and journaling 3 new things a day, which if you watch Sean Acor's talk it's on TED, and he talks that if we journal 3 new things a day for 21 days, our brain starts to rewire and starts to look at the positive instead of the negative. And that's such a powerful thing. And people go journaling, hoo-ha, whatever, but it's actually not. It's important to know what direction you're going in. And that's what I want to be able to bring to this time of uncertainty.
Yeah. So we can, and it's beautiful, Stella. All of these little tools that you're offering is so helpful for people, because it creates a sense of certainty in ourselves of how we can respond in this time of uncertainty. That's the only thing we can control: how we respond, how we choose to think, and how we choose to see the situation, and how we choose to behave with others, the people that we can influence.
Yeah.
And on that note, Stell, what I might do is when you post this video, I'll send you through a couple of little extra resources that you can be filtering out as well for your clientele as well, that are just little free videos that they can start to watch. Because the thing is, certain practices that work for you and certain practices that work for me may not work for everybody. We need to keep trying different practices until we find one that our body calms down to and our mind calms down to. Exactly what you did this morning with trying all the different platforms. We finally found one that worked. That's the same when it comes to mindfulness practices. It's the same. We need to, some people will work really great with your 5 deep breaths. Some people will work better with walking in nature and feeling that under their feet. Other people will work better with counting. Kids are great with counting. The finger counting really gets them mindful. Other people, it could be, you know, mindful movement like yoga and things like that. So keep trying all of these different things that Stell's going to put out, that I'm going to put out, and find one that works for you. And then also for your kids or the kids that you're working with, or, you know, the people that you're around. Keep sharing with them as well.
Thanks, Steph. I'm really aware of the time now as you go on to your next client. So I just want to send a big love. Thank you for taking time out of your day to finally be with me, and to share the importance of being mindful and being positive. And you know what? Surround yourself in a social distancing way. Surround yourself with people that you can like this. Listen to things that make you happy, whether it's music or recordings or talks. You know, and don't buy into the hysteria that is happening, because yes, it is important that we listen to what's, you know, being put out there, but it's also really important to listen to what we're saying to ourselves
and what we're saying to those around us. Absolutely, because we can either help the situation or we can be part of it, you know. That's like right. Part of the negativity. And I want every single one of us watching this to stand up and go, I can do better. Yeah. I can do better, and I can help others around me do better and do this in a way.
Thanks, Steph. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for being here with me, and have a lovely day. I'll see you later.
Bye, Stella.
Okay, everybody. So thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the importance of being mindful, and the importance of bringing a positive attitude to, you know, your setting. It doesn't matter where you are. And like I said, Stephanie and I will be sharing some resources at the bottom with links. And don't forget that I really feel right at this moment that leadership is everything. So if you are a leader, which each and every one of us are, be really mindful of what you're saying. And I've got a leadership webinar available for only $10 today. I will keep it at $10 for a little while. So if you've got the time, it's about 50 minutes, and it was my talk that I presented at the conference, because I really believe in the importance of leadership. I talk you through lots of different strategies, the importance of emotional intelligence, transformational leadership, and how you can be a better leader. With that, I'll end. Thanks so much for taking the time. I will try and connect with different people during the week to bring you some positive and some light in here. And if anybody's got a song request that you want me to sing, let me know. I'm just joking. Have an amazing day. Embrace each other and lift each other up during these times. Much love to you all. Remember that I'm available. I'm only a phone call or an email away. Have an amazing day, everyone.